Welcome. So in this project, we are going to be seeing how we could load data into Snowflake utilizing a feature in Snowflake called stages. We are going to be loading data to tables using snowsql. So let's see how we're going to get this done. So the first step is actually to get the bash, because we're going to be writing scripts. And in order to write scripts, we need the bash terminal. And to make that available in Windows, you need to install this JIT for Windows. So it comes with the bash, and with the help of that bash, we'll be able to. So all you need to do is just search for JIT for Windows, and that's it, and download it. So you also need some kind of a Snowflake account. Of course, the trial will be okay. You have like a generous 30-day free trial to use. Definitely, you need to create a connection. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my C drive, then I open my users directory. Then within my user directory, there is a user here called Django. So within this directory, there is also a .snowsql folder here, which I'm going to open. So look at it here. So within this folder, I'm going to edit this configuration file as you saw in the slide. So this configuration file, so I'm going to click on open. I will edit it with any of my editor. And this is the content of the configuration file. So the configuration file actually has a connection, and this is the name of the connection. So now is the time for us to get our hand dirty. So I'm going to create a folder that we're going to use as our project for everything that we're going to do. So I'm just going to call it all. So this is going to be like the project we're going to be using. So I'm going to open it with Visual Studio Code. So this is it. And at the same time, I'm going to open a terminal. So let me open a terminal. So this is kind of like our project. So basically what we'll be doing now is that we'll kind of like, first of all, just create some CSV file. So we just need to create some CSV file, like an arbitrary CSV file. So this is what we'll be loading into a table in Snowflake. So I'm going to create a CSV file called names.csv. So this is the file I'm going to create. So I'm going to populate the file with like some arbitrary records just to get started. So we have some record in our file. So the next thing we need is we need some SQL script. So I'm going to call this one like snow, or let me just call it db.sql. So db.sql. So this is our SQL script. So the next thing we need is we also need some kind of the script we are going to be executing. So I'll call this execute. So this is what we're going to be executing. So .sh. So these are the three things we need. These are the three files we need. So within this execute.sh, because it's a shell script, I'm going to kind of like, so if you're wondering why I got this, I actually installed some extension that helps me work with batch. So this batch extension pack by Bank. So this is what I installed. So then this is the shebang. So basically this is what you put at the beginning of your script to show that you're actually executing a batch script. So let's go ahead to kind of like talk about what we're going to put here. So one of the things we will need to put here is, so it depends on what kind of connection. So we created a connection previously with a name. So now we want to see how we can execute our script using this connection. So the first thing you need to do is definitely you need to create your connection. So we know what we call our connection. So I'm just going to add some connection name here. So this is the connection name. And then also we need to put like the path to our script. So I'm just going to say our script part. So I'm going to provide a script part here. So SQL script that we're going to execute. So I'm just going to come here and make sure that I copy this part. So it depends on, so I'm just going to paste this part here. So what I'm going to do is that because I'm on Windows, I'm just going to double the slashes here. So because I'm on Windows, I just want to double these slashes to make sure that the paths really work. So this is what you're going to do. So this converts it to a Unix path. So the next thing you want to do is that, of course, you want to put the statement that actually execute this SQL script. So this is actually the command. So you're going to say snowsql.c. This is actually your connection name, and then this is the script that you're executing. So if you have more than one script, you definitely need to put -f with the name of your second script. So for now we just have a single script, so we just need to end it with this -f. So the next thing we need to do now is kind of like decide on what we want to create. So for now I will want to create like some database. So I'm just going to create a database. So let's try to create a database. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're just going to create a database if not exists. So we're going to write some Snowflake command here. So this is going to create a database. So we're going to say create database if not exists, and then we're going to call testdb. So just testdb. So, and this is the first thing we do. So the next thing we need to do is kind of like create a stage. So a stage is basically what we will use to load our file. So we create that stage. So this stage, we might call it just any name for now. So let's just call it name. Let's call it stage box. So that's the name I'm going to call this stage. So after we create the stage, we actually want to put the file to the stage. So that's what we want to do. So the command is actually to put. So the stage is actually like a folder that we are creating so that we can definitely put our files to it. So look at what I'm actually doing. So I'm actually taking this this file, this names.csv, and putting it there. So let me take the part out. I think this part is not correct. So let's take this part out and get the direct part of this file. So I copy the part and I make sure that I put the part here. And of course, remember what I told you, we need to change it to a Unix part. So that's what I need to do here. So I need to make sure that it's a Unix part. So when I do this, the next step, now I want to actually create the table. So I make sure that the table actually has the same. So I'm creating a table here. So this is going to call my table. So let me just call this my table. And this table is going to have an ID, first name and last name, just like our CSV file. So you see, so after we do this, the next step is to actually copy. So we've created the stage and then we've made sure that our file is being moved to the stage. So the next thing we want to do is to copy into that table from the stage. So this is how we do it. So we copy into the table. So we are going to copy into this table. So the name of the table is not this name. So it's going to be my table. So we're going to copy to this stage. You see the stage. Within the stage, we have a file called names.csv. And so we just, this on error continue is just to say when there's an error, it should still continue. So you see what we have here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to actually see if we could select from that table. So let's see what happens. So we're actually going to write a select statement here that will try to get data from my table. So we're going to say select from my table. And remember to end it with a semicolon. So I just need to confirm my connection name to make sure that my connection name is the same with this connection name. And the way you do it is by checking this config file here. So it's in this config file that you will definitely see the connection we created earlier. So I'm going to open the config file just to check to make sure that the names are the same. So when I come here, I'm going to see that this is my connection name. So this is what I want to copy. I want to make sure that it's the same. So I'm going to copy this connection name and I'm going to provide this connection name here. So I'm going to make sure that the connection name is being provided here. So in this execute.sh. So I'm going to make sure that I got it rightly. So this is my connection, digit bash. So the digit bash will actually give you this profile. So this profile is what we need because this is actually a bash script. So we're actually going to be executing the script now. So immediately we put like bash and then we put the name of that script. So execute.sh. So you see, so basically we want to execute this script using bash. So we will discover that all this, the query we wrote here, the stage, the table we created and everything will be executed against Snowflake. So let's see how that happens. So we're going to see. So you see our database was created. There were some errors there. The table was created. 0 rows was produced. So let's see what happens. So I found out that the name of the stage here also wasn't correct. So I had to change this, make sure that this stage is the same all through. So the next thing now is actually to try running the script again. So we need to execute bash.sh. And then when we do this, see the table was created. See, we now have our data back. So this select script. So this is how you do it. So an alternative way to do it is actually to create another file here. So we're going to create another file. This time we'll just call it d.xh. So then what we are going to do is that instead of doing it the way we did it the other time, so this is how we're going to do it. So we're just going to create all, so explicitly create the account name, the username, the snowsql database name, the snowsql schema name, and everything as variables. And then we need to provide like where our script is located. So let me just come to this file. So we're just going to make sure that we copy this script part and make sure that it's the same with this one. So I think this is it. So then all we need to do is just provide the path to where the script will be executed. So in this case, you also need to add your password. So we would have also created a variable like snow password and then make it to be equal to our password. But because you don't want your password to be exposed, so rather what you're going to do, instead of putting your password here, you might definitely want to create an environment variable. So here, so you start typing environment, you edit this environment variable. So here you can say environment variable, and then you can create a new variable. And then here you're going to put like your Snowflake password here. And then you're going to put the value of your password and you click on OK. The same thing that we did. So using the same script, you're just going to come to the command line and then you're going to do bash. And this time around, you're going to pass in d.sh. So it's going to be almost similar to what happened the other time, but it's just that now you're connecting in a more different way. So you see, everything works the same. So it's either you're going to use this approach. So the approach where you provide, this is more simplified because your whole connection is inside of your .snowsql file, or you provide explicitly all the things you need. So I think this is the end of this video. So if you find it interesting, I want you to like and probably subscribe to my channel for more content like this. So thank you.